Hi guys, welcome to today's session, and today we're going to discuss about the minimum support price or MSP, which is related with agriculture in our country. And in this session we'll first see what is minimum support price or MSP, and secondly we will see why is it important, and finally we'll discuss, you all know about the farmer protest that is happening in our country, and what is the connection of MSP and the farmer protest that is happening currently in our country. So let's now start. So the MSP or the minimum support price is commonly known as the way of protecting the farmers in India from the uncertainties of markets as well as those of natural kind, and it acts as a safety net for farmers. MSP is the core of the agricultural revolution that saw India transforming from a food deficient to a food surplus nation, and over the years MSP has helped the farmers in India to stave off the effects of financial fluctuations. And if you see the background of MSP at the time of independence, India was staring at a major deficit in terms of cereal production. After struggling first decade, India decided to go for extensive agricultural reforms, and it was the first time in the year 1966 and 67 the minimum support price was introduced by the center, and at that point rupees 54 per quintal, the MSP for wheat was fixed for the first time. And what is the need of introducing an MSP? That is on the path of green revolution. Indian policymakers realized that the farmers needed incentives to grow food crops. Otherwise, they won't opt for food crops such as wheat and paddy, as they were labor intensive and didn't fetch lucrative prices. Hence, to incentivize the farmers and boost production, MSP was introduced in the mid 1960s, and at present center provides MSP for 23 crops. These include cereals such as bajra, wheat, maize, paddy, barley, ragi and jowar, and pulses like tur, chana, masoor, urad and moong, and also oil seeds such as safflower, mustard, niger seeds, soybean, groundnut, sesame and sunflower. And also MSP also covers commercial crops also, that is raw jute, cotton, copra and sugarcane. And if you see how a government decides MSP, we know in India there are two major cropping seasons, that's namely Rabi and Kharif. Government announces MSP at the start of each cropping season, and MSP is decided after government exhaustively studies the major points made by Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. So actually there are two bodies involved in this MSP process. One is the CSEP, that is Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, and second body is Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs, that is CCEA. So the process is like Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs announces MSP for various crops at the beginning of each sowing season based on recommendations of Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, CSEP. So Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, CSEP, recommends MSP, and it is finalized and announced by Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs. So that are the two bodies, and these recommendations are based on some prefixed formulae. This includes actual cost incurred, implicit family labor, as well as sort of fixed assets or rent paid by farmers, and in technical terms these variables are called A2, FL and C2. The MSP is calculated by government by often adding all these. And another question is MSP legal? The short answer is no. Center has been providing MSP to wheat and paddy farmers since mid 60s to tide over the food crisis. The fact remains that MSP doesn't have any legal stature. So that is background information about MSP, and we will now see why MSP is important in our country. As we discussed in the beginning of this lecture, price volatility makes life difficult for farmers. Though prices of agriculture commodities may soar while in short supply during the years of bumper production, prices of the very same commodities drops. And MSPs ensures that farmers get a minimum price for their produce in adverse markets. And MSPs have also been used as a tool by the government to incentivize farmers to grow crops that are in short supply. And if you see the factors taken into consideration for fixing MSP, it includes, as we discussed earlier also, demand and supply, cost of production, price trends in the market, both domestic and international, intercrop price parity, terms of trade between agriculture and non-agriculture, a minimum of 50% as margin over cost of production, and also likely implication of MSP on consumers of that product. So these are the factors, and you know the why important is MSP in our country, and especially for our farmer community, how crucial it is, and how they are guaranteeing a minimum income for their efforts. And now we will see the farm bills and MSP topic. That is, you know about the farmer protest that is happening in our country. It has been long time that farmers are protesting in our country, and we'll see what is the issue of MSP involved in this farmers protest. The farmers in the country are protesting because they are upset with the 3 farm bills introduced by the government, because none of them mentions anything about minimum support price or MSP. While the Prime Minister and his government verbally promised farmers that MSP system will stay, farmers are finding it hard to trust the government. And the 3 farm bills that have been introduced by the government, however, have little to do with MSP. And the fact that there is no law safeguarding MSP worked in favor of the government. While farmers have been allowed to sell their crops to any entity, including private corporates, they demanded that a written promise on MSP from the government, as they are afraid that corporates will start exploiting them in the absence of a minimum support price. So that is the fear of the farmers, that the MSP support price system will eventually fade away, and it will affect their income. So this issue or controversy is still going on, and that is all about MSP, guys. We will meet tomorrow with another topic. Thank you for watching this lesson.